It's really an honor to be here today in the company of so many Indigenous leaders, people who've dedicated their lives to the full pursuit of upholding the inherent rights of Indigenous peoples in our province. It's been an honor for me and a journey for me as minister to learn from them in so many ways, and having the benefit of their ongoing counsel as well. And I'm really so glad and grateful that you've come here to bear witness to what I think is really, truly an historic day. I suspect we'll hear that word a lot. So in November of 2019, a unanimous Legislative Assembly of British Columbia passed unanimously the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act. And it was the first jurisdiction in this continent to do so. I don't want to forget Bolivia, but we're making history again today, because here today we're presenting in the legislature this document. This is the action plan, the first action plan in the world to be created, to be co-developed, and to be tabled before the people of British Columbia. It was built in consultation and cooperation with Indigenous peoples. It articulates 89 specific, tangible, measurable things that each and every ministry of our government is committed to do. Because the action plan is a legal requirement under the Declaration Act, and it's a solemn commitment. But it's much, much more than that. It articulates a vision that has been co-created of a province where the rights of Indigenous peoples are fully realized, respected, upheld, and implemented. Because we believe that in doing so, in realizing the full potential of Indigenous rights, we realize the full potential of our province. Since passing the Declaration Act in 2019, the province, First Nations, Indigenous peoples, organizations have been engaged in this cooperative enterprise. And we faced, and no one needs to be reminded in this room, immense challenges during this time. I'm speaking of the twin pandemics. I'm speaking of atmospheric rivers and wildfires, and of course the devastating impact of the findings in Kamloops and elsewhere. But through all of that, we continued to work together in good faith. And what has resulted is specific actions for every ministry to advance the implementation of the United Nations Declaration in important areas like education, children and families, forestry, water resources, and so much more. Our government is working hard to make meaningful progress on the full implementation of the rights of Indigenous peoples in our province, and to do so in cooperation and consultation with them. I want to also acknowledge the support and interest from our other partners who have been standing with us side by side as we do this work. I'm talking of local governments. I'm talking of business and industry, of nonprofits, of the scholars in this field. Thank you for sharing your commitment and your ideas with us to make sure that this is not just words. It cannot be words, because we will be held accountable every year in a real way to see if we've done what we promised to do together. So this will not be a report like others that will gather dust. It cannot, it's not allowed to be. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got a lot of challenges, no question about it. It's going to be challenging, but I think together we can change the trajectory of our shared history and create a future where the full potential of Indigenous peoples is realized. That's the province we want. That's the province we need, the province we deserve, and the province we will finally build together.